I guess in 1974 I had seen some cast bronze work in a magazine, and I thought I really want to get into that kind of medium. And it was 1986 before I was able to attend a weekend workshop for casting bronze work. And as far as paper is concerned, about 30 years ago I had seen a single piece of cast paper in Winnipeg, and I thought, well, that's pretty interesting. And then in 1996 I took two paper making workshops, and the other members who were participating with me, they seemed to be quite happy with just making paper for the sake of making paper. I don't know, they were maybe doing calligraphy or something like that. But I thought there's got to be more to it than this, so I took the paper I'd made home and I cast it into some of the molds I'd made for bronze work. And it worked. And so what I did is I just modified my bronze molding and technique and to make it work with paper. And now we'll mix it up. I use distilled water. The two techniques are the same so far as modeling what you are planning on casting, and then the molding to make a mold off of what you had modeled. I think it's a very simple technique for holding it in place. I just very carefully place marbles in the whole thing and then just actually let it dry or have a fan blowing air over it. And when it's got to the point where the paper feels the same temperature as anything else in the room, then that means that it is dried out. If it's cool at all, that means there's still more moisture coming out of it, and you just leave it for an extra day or so. Well, I guess I enjoy the discovery of trying new things and getting them to work, and then the social aspect of discussing that sort of thing with your friends and fellow artists. I'm probably rather fortunate as an artist because my wife Linda is also an artist. She's a watercolorist, and so we discuss, her work and my work and where it's going and this sort of thing. I currently have a show with my wife, Linda, at Amy's on 2nd, at a fine restaurant in Prince Albert. And I've got my cast paper work. Linda has her watercolor on canvas pieces. I also have some pieces in the show that are graphite on gessoed panel. So it's a different medium that I'm looking at. In fact, there's a couple of pieces of it hanging in the house here. Oh, if you go on the internet, you'll find other cast paper sculptors. I've personally not met another one. I know there are lots of people who work with paper, but certainly the process or the finished product doesn't necessarily look like what I do.